Thanks with Reaper there. But I guess we're going to have to find out as we're in Game 5 between FNRGFE and Renegades. Both of them want to make sure they solidify their spot in Season 1, not to mention a shot at getting to the top of the playoffs here as we're going into map.
Hex, we have fond memories of Mangachu here on Sanctum.
Mangachu's played a lot of things on Sanctum. He plays Bastion, he plays Mei, he plays everything. I think that's the team you're referring to.
Wait, you're forgetting the most important hero, Hex.
Go ahead.
Junkrat.
Oh, that's right!
Yeah, thank you! I was setting you up for that!
You know, I forget that Junkrat is in the game, so that's not necessarily my fault here. On Sanctum, of course, Mangachu used to chunk through with the good old Chunkrat there, the trash mouse, as we like to refer to him here. But no such luck thus far. Seems like both teams want to run. I believe those are identical compositions.
I don't think you'd be wanting to run the Junkrat in the Divas, as is the standard of play now. It was really good against Reinhardt, though, but both teams in the melee over the top of Mangachu. The first to be desuited here as the poke war goes on, but Jesus is able to equalize. Wins a TVT battle, as you would like to say, Hex, and this is very close so far.
Very nice for him to be able to take out Clockwork in the TVT. Of course, it now opens up some flankers for him that he's not going to be checked on the side there, but desuiting is pretty important. They're going to put a little bit of pressure on the point with Jesus. He gets Discord, is going to rewind out, and that pressure is going to force them to rotate on. Where is the rest of the team to help them out on this rotation?
Renegades is counter-rotating onto them as they rotate onto the point, but Primo is taken out. He did not get the support he needed there, is isolated once again, and it's Jesus that's keeping things even here for Renegades. Whenever FNRGFE gets a kill, Jesus is right there, and the more important thing is that FNRGFE wasn't able to stand the point. They're giving up progress.
They had people in the room, they just didn't get on the point, which is a little bit interesting. Zachary with a very late visor will take out Matt, but is that worth? Not really. This is a strange map, though, because putting pressure on the point I don't think is even a good idea. Usually you want to be the second one on the point to be able to clear them off. You saw that worked out well for them. FNRGFE will take the point back immediately, and 11%, I don't know. Is it worth it?
Not in this case, certainly not. I think if they could have delayed more, yes, but that is the power of hindsight, Hex. We get to look back and judge and usually try and be right.
I love judging people. It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, FNRGFE tries to dive into Renegades as they come in, but they get punished immediately. This has been a tough round for Clockwork here so far, and nerf that, it goes into the pit. Why are you trying to destroy my data's gold pool, man? I will never understand, but clearly not the self-destruct he was looking for. Unlike Mangachu, who does get the self-destruct he's looking for. Moves right in, D-Mech's cool pat by calling down his mech once more, and Renegades very well might be retaking this point.
Stall comes in.
Yeah, Stall's coming in. It's
Boink comes on. Yeah, Boink comes on and just crushes Mangachu right off the edge. Clockwork is able to get a bomb. The stall came in. Will end up at 50%. Can you even destroy gold? You can just smelt it, right?
I mean, surely you can transmute into some other element with heat and pressure, right?
I usually want to turn other things into gold. That's what alchemy is all about. Here comes the
I'm a bad alchemist. I turn gold into other, more useless things.
That's why we can't have the gold standard anymore, ZP. You're the problem. Ron Paul hates you. Anyway, Cool Matt comes in up over the top. Defense Matrix comes in, dueling battles right there. Meanwhile, it has been flipped back over for Renegades. We will be at about 50% each here as a nice visor comes in for Zachary. He's got a lot of space.
Zachary has space to work with, but doesn't necessarily have the targets early on. Does find movement towards the very end, but FNRGFE still applying pressure, but not able to retake the point here just yet. They do roll right in, and oh no, Renegades is right there. They could have prevented that at least a little bit, and both teams struggling with point control right now, but as they trade out, FNRGFE is coming back in, and yet it's so back and forth.
Struggling on point control might be the nicest possible way to say it. They keep forgetting that the point is actually what matters here, and they're just not toe-tapping onto it. They need to keep bodies there, and they just keep forgetting to do so. It has been a sloppy point on Sanctum thus far. No real clean fights. This has been about as brawly as Sanctum gets, man. Usually you see resets here, and it's very hard for teams to get back in.
Sanctum, yeah, it's usually a fight where you see more coordinated 6v6s, and no, farewell Clockwork. That might have been more of a reset.
Yeah,
who knows?
Off the edge, but I mean, a reset while Buds is visoring would be a little bit interesting. So
yeah, I'm not sure that was the plan.
Yeah, maybe TeamSpeak servers are down and these teams are just not communicating. This has been a very strange version of Sanctum, to say the least. However, FNRGFE at 80%. Renegades, however, in control of the point as they take their way towards 80 as well. Next fight very well might decide it.
2 support ults on deck, though, for FNRGFE. They have a big advantage, so as no one gets picked before they're used, and they don't. The sound barrier is in. The Transcendence comes out right after. They are staggering out the ultimates, but that's not enough to save Matt. from Zachary, moving in with the attack visor, and yet, Matt, he was in bunny mode. He gets 2 kills under both supports in bunny mode. What in the world?
Matt's a jerk. That's what. I mean, really, you killed me with a bunny blaster. That's surprising amount of damage.
Oh my god.
Regardless of that, still having a hard time flipping it back over. The stall will come out, and they will stay up to 99%. FNRGFE now has control of the point at 85% of their own. Yeah, like I said, in professional matches, you cannot let that happen with your diva. You cannot
let the baby diva gun down both supports. Oh,
I mean the pistol's pretty solid, but still,
clearly,
I can't make enough excuses for it. Like
clearly, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
You can also just kill the 150 HP diva. In any case, we are in overtime, and Renegades with their last opportunity to pull this round right back. Jesus with Pulse Bomb doesn't get what he's looking for, and FNRGFE starting to choke out Renegades here as they are looking for any form of life. But Negachu gets it. Diva on diva violence might not be enough. There's still a numerical disadvantage, but somewhat of a ramp.
Low-key MVP being Boink. That is his second and or third environmental kill so far. Zachary is going to have to come back in, and he will go down. A very close match here on Sanctum, thanks to a couple of kills you don't see very often. Baby Diva. And it's not the first time Renegades have struggled to clean up the Diva. They struggled on the very first stage of the very first map, Control Center, on Lijiang Tower, and that wasn't even that bad because he just did enough damage to get his mech back, which also, by the way, can't happen in a professional match. But to die, that's demoralizing.
To have your baby Diva's like, okay, Diva's out of the fight. Oh god, Diva's killed both of those.
They're probably thrilled that kill cams are off in tournaments because you don't want to see that one happen to you again.
I don't want to see it happen in my personal games, let alone in a competition with serious pride on the line, because don't forget, what's also on the line here is not only going forward today, but if you win the series,
you're in.
Yes, you are into Contenders Season 1, so this matters a lot.
When FNRGFE, a team that's not necessarily sponsored either, could be absolutely huge for them in real-world kind of consequences. They're going to go and take a page out of the Renegades book themselves. Buds and Banny have gone skyward here, trying to get a lot of damage in over the top, and wow, they are actually chunking in some damage, but they will trade out 1-to-1 on the points so far. Clockwork to Jur to Clockwork, but now Renegades taking the lead.
I gotta say here for FNRGFE, I think they should swap back to the standard if they don't take this here to begin with.
Yeah.
You're not even having to worry about Pharah v Pharah. I understand Buds wants to play with Pharah here, but please, go to what's working. You beat Renegades in these mirror matchups.
This point especially, if you don't have control as the pharmacy combo, it's hard to wrestle it back. They might get in just for one res because Banny is so close to that. But look, they can hide in the house. There's a roof. That's a nice pickoff though. Ooh. Jesus out of the fight.
That is something you don't see as often, but it is brutal when it does. Jesus takes a rocket as Tracer, and that opens the way for FNRGFE to come back in with a vengeance. And you know what? They don't have to swap off the Pharah here just yet. Buds opens the door, and this should be a retake.
Well, they also wanted the res too. Res charges so fast that they knew they could get one in there in that fight. A nice stall out there means 30% on the clock for Renegades. Now Bud's going to have Barrage, and they will enter their ultimate phase of the game, and in a much better point to be holding the control point as Pharah rather than taking it because of this right here.
Indeed, and now this is where Buds you can set up for sneaky barrages. Mangachu, though, probably one of the people that is very good at denying barrages. He goes for the move all the time. He knows the matchup pretty well. And Buds right now just creeping over the top. Doesn't want to throw it in the Mangachu's defense, but for now, content to poke from above as the Transcendence comes out.
Transcendence comes out for one side, Sound Barrier for the other. We'll see which one ends up being more valuable there. His self-destruct comes in, does not necessarily land itself in the best spot as some progress being put on the point by Renegades.
Matt
still bloodless.
Matt got his mech back there. They did not finish him off. He gets back into the mech, and FNRGFE is able to avoid what should have been an early pickoff as Muma goes to town, pushing everyone into this room. Lucio just says, get me off this wild ride.
I want to get off Mr. Muma's wild ride.
I need an adult.
All the kills come in now as Clockwork combines with the Mercy. Actually gets a couple of little bits of damage in there. They will hold sway on the point so far. And FNRGFE already up one stage, in good position to take the second one. And though control was the foray of Renegades, FNRGFE has found an answer using Renegade's kit, actually.
Yeah, they're using the Pharah. Like, we thought this would have been a little bit more reversed, given we know that both teams, but no. Renegades not running the Pharah, FNRGFE running it, and they're one fight away, perhaps, from taking this round and being on set point.
They have to find Banny because he's got Resurrection available. We'll bring them back into the fight as we go into 80 85% on the board for FNRGFE. Bud's still not been dealt with. They're going to try to Primal Rage onto him, but now with Zachary out of the fight, he should feel a lot safer too. Couple kill streak back and forth.
They have the res. Banny can just come in. There it is. 3-man res, and that fight is very much going to go the way of FNRGFE. And I don't know about that for Renegades. I mean, I guess they have to stay in. It's 99%. So normally you'd like to reset. You can't in this case. And unfortunately for Sherlock, he falls right after his spiritual enlightenment. And FNRGFE very likely now to be up 2-0 here on Nepal.
It's the best kind of res. It comes in after trades, turns it into a 6v4 immediately, and that's a tough ask of any team to be able to bring it back. It is a slaughter on the point as FNRGFE now one stage away from qualifying for Overwatch Contenders Season 1.
There is one really good thing here for Renegades. What was the best round of Pharah that we have ever witnessed? What stage was it on, Hex?
This next one.
Yes.
Shrine, I believe it's called. I've been casting Overwatch for like, coming up on 2 years now, and I still sometimes struggle with these stage names. It is Shrine though. Yeah, this was where Mangachu put on an absolute clinic.
It was the best round of Pharah I have ever seen in all of professional Overwatch across all players, and yet...
Same.
We're not seeing Mangachu go Pharah here. I mean, he has failed on the stage before the good Diva played, but for now, he's not going with what was once his tried and true. He's going to stand the Diva.
Right. Okay. Oddly enough, FNRGFE seems like they were expecting the Pharah. I mean, you put Buds on the 76, you're running Banny on the Zenyatta there too. I mean, they're both good heroes for this map in general, but that would be my anti-Pharah comp.
It would indeed, and Renegades going to try and win this in more of a somewhat mirror setup. Not identical, but still running the Diva and trying to control space, and they do get a bit of an advantage early on. They push FNRGFE back, but FNRGFE is in such a case that they can heal up, so they are able to come back in, but not so much anymore. Zachary catches Clockwork and sets up Renegades for the 6v5.
They get pushed out right there. Muma trying to escape, ends up finding himself right in front of a Diva Mech, and this is about as clean as a first fight as you can take. They've already taken the points, so now just cleaning up the remainder. A nice stall here from Matt, but...
No, it's not stall. They're actually in abject fear. They're in abject fear. They know that he can kill the entire team, but no, not quite. That is actually just a stall.
I don't see that very often, but why not, I guess?
I don't know. I just feel like the supports are just recoiling in fear, like, oh god, the demon is back. Please, kill her. Well... In any case, this is a very good opening here for Renegades. 31% to 0 when they have no more room for error. They must win this round, or their Overwatch Contenders Season 1 eligibility will be in question. Nice self-destruct. Threads right to the back and already putting FNRGFE on the wrong foot.
Yeah, that's really tough. Maybe Bonnie comes in here with a Transcend, but after losing one of your supports already, you don't really want to double down on this fight. 50% already on board for Renegades, and we haven't really even seen another fight after that first one. They just kind of crushed it before it's even happened. The entry has been brutal yet again as Bonnie goes down before it even happens. Don't fight here. It's like fighting in a basement.
Yeah, FNRGFE, please go the other way. I mean, I understand that you might have a love of Gill, but you don't always have to go left. You can go right. There's no law against it, but Renegades might have gone a little bit too deep here. They lose their Diva as a result, and maybe this sets up FNRGFE, but they also lost 2 people, so I don't know. This is just getting messy.
They're going to get reset here a couple times as well. Buds narrowly avoids a Pulse Bomb, and then I guess they're going to try to come in now, but they're going to be met by a Blade and a Transcend. However, Clockwork is able to take down Jesus through all of this noise.
Ugly Blade. Bad Blade. There's no other way to say it. That wasn't good for Zachary. And now they're not going to have this as FNRGFE tries to get back in with only 5% remaining. Still a really good position for Renegades to be in.
Yeah, somehow during all of that, while the Blade was happening, while the Transcend was happening, they did get the 1 kill onto Jesus from Clockwork. It just opened it up for them. They will be in here to stall, but there's no point stalling this anymore, really. I mean, it's 99%. What are you gaining anymore? You're just feeding ults. So, 99% to 0. Again, FNRGFE 1 stage away from moving on.
Let's speculate for a moment. Let's say Renegades takes this round. How important is it for RNG for them to avoid Control Center again?
Well, I mean, Sanctum?
Yeah, Sanctum.
See, I told you.
I think enclosed area, it's like, yeah, Sanctum, yes.
It's pretty important. They did not show up well there, so the RNG gods will be in play if Renegades is able to pull this one back, but to do so, they will have to take control of the point. Banny's going to be really interesting here. They lost Sherlock. Transcend should come out. It does. He has to save himself.
And I don't know if this Transcends was needed per se, but bear in mind, FNRGFE is home. Get off the ledge. Just go. FNRGFE, I think, is very aware that they can't risk a single fight going against them. So they sacrificed a little bit of ult economy there for security, but they do have a sound barrier in reserve, so I don't hate it.
It's totally fine. I was fine with that Transcend. Keep Annie alive. You do need that. I mean, entry kills can be such a thing here with this Zenyatta anyway, that he can get a charge shot going. And also, knowing that you have sound barrier for the next fight means that you're more willing to use at least one support ultimate. And you can't take it to your grave with you. You got to win a fight.
Well, we'll see how much both teams lead out here. Zachary goes in with the blade and immediately takes down Buds. The barrier is too late to save him, and FNRGFE is already in the hot seat, getting poked down heavily despite getting a few early kills. The problem is that Clockwork, still healthy, still around, gets a little bit poked down there, but he's around, and Buma has done a good job of keeping this somewhat even though Renegades had a much better opening.
Clockwork's recall just came online when he was at about 12 HP. He needed to stay alive there. Won't put the bomb on the ground. That's fine. Ends up doing a little bit of damage. This is a late Transcend that I'm not necessarily in love with, as most of the kills have already gone to FNRGFE.
There was no one around to take advantage of the Transcend. That might have been nerves at best. And now FNRGFE, 8% away from qualifying for Overwatch Contenders Season 1. Renegades trying to pull this one back. They still have an option to do so. 99% to 99%. We are in overtime, and Primo making space. Zachary comes out the blade, trying to put Renegades over the top, and yet FNRGFE, they are bloody on the point right now, but not removed. Getting key kills as Clockwork works into the back, and Renegades is in a tough spot indeed.
Mangachu's trying to get his mech back. He's got the Bunny Blaster out now as Clockwork has been living inside the Matrix. They will finally take down Cool Matt, who was brave on the point, staying with his team. They have not flipped it over yet. Beautiful barrier, but a Transcend comes up over top as well.
They use both support ultimates there, Transcend and Sound Barrier. FNRGFE, they feel they're close, and perhaps they are. 4 kills, 5 kills for FNRGFE. It's only Jesus up, left, and around. He is the last one remaining between Renegades and Failure, and that is going to be it. FNRGFE takes the series and qualifies for Overwatch Contenders Season 1.
So glad we picked this match.
Yes.
Zachary had himself a decent game. I think he's been a great addition to the Renegades squad. Renegades not out of it yet, mind you. They will have a chance to get into the Season 1 of Overwatch Contenders, which FNRGFE has already punched their ticket to. And for a team without a sponsor, that's absolutely huge. Could see some rumblings there, but so close between these two teams. And FNRGFE, what makes this team so remarkable is they barely played together. This like they added Matt. You would never guess it. You would never guess it by watching how they play.
I thought they did have a sponsor.